you doing? You're on day 59 of Lyndall's Luscious Limbering. Check out you. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Today is our cruisy, chill out, stretchy, limbery, movementy kind of day. So I'm going to keep warm because it's cold outside. Again, don't let the sunshine fool you. So make sure you're comfy. Get yourself a cup of tea, pause, get yourself a cup of tea, treat yourself, why not? Yeah, good. So with the playlist for today, 3, 2, 1, go. Gonna start standing, feet hip width apart, just soften the knees. Just want to do a little bit of mobility before we start, just a small bit. I'm indulging the people in Melbourne right now. So if you do, I think I said before, if you do static stretching or deep stretches before you've done joint mobility or dynamic stretching, which is when you're moving through stretches, you can actually do more harm than good. So that's why I just want to limber up the joints and some of the soft tissues a little bit first. Beautiful, and going forwards. Just taking the time to take your awareness through the body, stacking the alignment between the head, the chest, the hips, and the feet. Good, going backwards again. And just nice, easy with the elbows. Now this is a bit more complicated, I just want to get you to bend the knees. We're going to be doing a twisting action with the hips that goes like this. So don't twist so far. Sorry, this isn't the complicated bit, this is the start. You're like, that's easy. Make sure that you're not feeling uncomfortable or weird tension on the knees. I just want you to try this first. Now you can notice that because my hips are moving, my shoulders are moving, so I'm moving like a unit. I'm not doing that. Okay, I've got my hands on my hips and just leading it from the hips, just like this. And just lock into that feeling of what it feels like when the hips are doing a movement as opposed to the upper body. So then we're going to take what I call the doa deer, or the modified doa deer position. This is doa deer, modified doa deer. Hand in front of your heart. I want you to turn your hips and just stay like this for the moment. So in the doa deer position, at the moment I've got my left arm, but you can do either one. Left hand's in pronation, so the back of the forearm's up, and the right's in supination, so the wrist is up. So again, you can see that even though it looks like I'm turning from the shoulders, actually I'm turning from the hips, but I've just made a unit, so my hips and my shoulders are all moving as one. Okay, good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to the side that's in supination. So I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to, keeping my head in alignment, I'm going to bring my, almost like I'm trying to put my nose in my elbow. I do not mean this. I'm just going to go as far as that's comfortable. When I reach that, I'm now going to turn with the hips the other way. So you can see I haven't moved my shoulders at all. But from here I'm going to rotate the hands, so now the one in front is the one with the forearm up. I'm looking to the front, and again I bring my elbow towards my nose. Now I turn those hips again, there's no movement from the shoulders, rotate. As you rotate, that's when the head comes back to the front. Just want you to break up the movement for the moment to convince yourself it's not coming from the shoulders. Obviously there's a lift in the elbow, the shoulders are sinking while you're doing that though, but the rotation is all from the hips. So as the elbow rises, that's when you're rotating through the forearms for the moment, just as we're breaking it up. So not this, making a unit, turn, the whole unit turns together. So now we can start to smooth it out if you're getting that. So we breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, Breathe out. Breathe in. And you notice I'm keeping a straight line from elbow to elbow, so I'm not crunching it like this. Now, final thing to concentrate is not letting this happen. So as you're rising, feel like the shoulders are just sinking down. The head of the humerus is trying to sink down towards the ground. So if this means you only raise the hand to here, that's absolutely fine. It's much better that you aim for the correct biomechanics here rather than going, yeah, great, I can reach my nose. No, no, no. Bad and wrong. Beautiful. That's for you to practice. Oh my God, I just gave you homework. Okay, good. From here, just dropping the ear to one side and give a gentle nod. And roll it around to the other side. Again, don't try and force the head down. Just let the weight of the head with gravity do the work for you. Breathing into the areas that you can feel the tightness. Breathing deep into the belly. Let the small of the back expand to touch the back wall. And we're on the other side. You don't have to go with my rhythm. Just stay on one side until you feel like changing across to the other. Deep breaths. What will happen usually is as you change, you'll hold your breath. So instead, take a deep breath in now. Breathe out as you go around. Let a reflex breath come back in again. Reflex breath meaning you just relax the muscles around the diaphragm, abdomen, sides of the back, and just let that recoil bring the breath in rather than feeling like you have to go and breathe in. So before you do the move, deep breath in, let the breath and the movement come together, and then the natural recoil of the muscles as they relax starts the next breath. Just do one more roll around each side in your own time. And then just rolling the chin to the chest. Hands behind. Just allow the weight of the elbows just to encourage a release. If you want, you can just use the elbows to really gently, just minutely open up across the back to the shoulders, and let that go all the way down to your heels. So you're going between the shoulder blades, over the lumbar spine, the sacral spine, the butt cheeks down the backs of the hamstrings, behind the knees, the calves, backs of the ankles, and deep into the floor. Good. Let's bring the head up again. And now just with the Mr. Squiggle pencil on your nose. Nice, easy circle. Just let the sacrum swing down to point towards the ground so that you're not arching your back. And let this movement be smooth like honey. Go the other way. And try and go back to that reflex breath again. So you're just letting, it's almost like the air around you just invites itself in, and then it just takes the breath back again. Getting deep today. Go face the side, rotate one direction, perfect circle, doesn't have to be big. Change the direction but staying on that side. Yeah, but the other way. Rotate. Make sure your knees are soft, you haven't locked up your legs. I'm not trying to hoik your hips up your belly. And go the other way. Beautiful. Now back, just rolling the shoulders and just let the feet move a little bit. Just let that encourage to a little bit of a stretch at the front of the toes. It feels really nice. And before we head down to the ground, just hip width apart, and this time I'm letting the shoulders do the turning. So opposite to what we were doing before. Go super light, arms are soft. Now the hips are turning. So just engage a little more. But if you want, you can to start the movement from the hips. But if the shoulders want to twist a little further around than the hips go, then do that just to get a bit more of a torsion through the spine. Keep going, but let the head stay facing forwards. And now we get to warm up the neck. It's magic. Oh my God. Really relaxing over the tops of the shoulders all the way down, forearm all the way down to the fingertips on that middle finger. Good, and just beautiful, soft, reaching towards the ceiling. Good, reaching up. And rolling down to the spine. Hang out for a bit here. Head nice and heavy. If you want, you can give little tiny movements through the arms and through the spine, through the legs. Just starting to wake up the joints and the muscles. And bend the knees. Either breathe in to roll up or breathe out to roll up. Just don't hold your breath. Good. And back down again. And with your hands, just give yourself some percussion over the back. So you can either do it using the bit where the thumb is, or using the heels of the hand, or cup the hand, whatever's feeling good for you today. Keep the head super heavy though, let go of the neck. And now get the heels of the hand and get deep into those glutes. Find the bits that hurt the most and give them some extra love. I find it helps to give a slight roll through the hand. Good, and then let's just sit down to the floor to do the thighs. So go into a crouch, shake yourself down to the floor, and working through those thighs. Yes. And some rubs just to really warm everything up. And 20 above and below the knee. And down the leg. Good, just get into the calf. Give it a really good massage with the thumb. Stimulating all the blood flow. And then just shake out your ankle like you're trying to get some money out of it, which some of you might be if you still stood down from work. Good, and through the other leg. Might be a little bit of pain through there. You're welcome. Lets you know you're alive. And a good old rub. And going above and below. Down the leg. Get into the calf. Go on, get in there. Get in. And shake out the front. Good. Just tuck under one of the legs. Other one on top. And don't be too extreme with these at the start because we're not super warm yet. But I'm just going to start to encourage a little bit of stretch. So go well outside your maximum limit and just breathe into it. And let the breath and the sort of give an instruction to your muscles to let go and just let that start to relax you around rather than trying to force it around. Seek out those really cheeky little quiet tensed areas. Good, and changing over. I'm not going to do the fancy way today. You can. Make sure you're sitting up through this. Good, and let's take ourselves down to the ground. Oh yeah, rolling down. Good, just bring your both knees in and just wiggle your butt like you're a dog trying to wag its tail. If you've got a nice soft surface here, you can also just let the sacrum sink deeper into the floor as you do this, and you can get a little bit of a massage over that spine there, which feels particularly nice. So I've softened off that sacrum on the ground. I haven't pulled it up so it's risen up and it's going into the bones on the lumbar spine. I've let the small of the back level with the floor, and I'm rocking the pelvis from side to side. There's no rush with this, keep going. Alright, good. Let's just circle both those knees now. And again, while you're doing this, just send your awareness to areas that you know are tight. So those glutes are probably quite tight. Front of the thighs. The bottom of the abdomen. Just think about letting go of those muscles. What's your lumbar spine doing? What's the area under your armpits doing? What about your sternum? That's a cheeky little one, that one. Good, just change the direction. What about your neck? On the sides, at the front, at the back. What about under the shoulder blades? They're like ninjas, those ones. What about over the pectoral muscles? Good, and now back to wiggling side to side. Good, now we're going to engage the core a tiny bit just as we do our back stretches, but I love these. Point the toes, imagine you're bursting a balloon between the small of your back and the ground. Just lengthen the legs out. Make sure you're lengthening through the neck. And again, pushing the small of the back into the ground. Really want to engage through the back here, not take all the strain through the flexors. Small of the back goes into the ground. Burst the balloon. You can do it. You can do it. Keep breathing. Breathing is so good for you. Good. Now I just want to bring the legs back and then circle around again. And hopefully there's a little bit more of an openness now. And circle the other way. Good. Now you all know this is my favorite thing in the world. And put the leg down. Whoa, there's some tightness there. Nice and easy, keep relaxed through the front of the abdomen as you do this. What's nice about this is you can just think about the rest of your body. Let the back sink deeper into the floor. Soften the jaw. Good. Changing over legs. So we were talking before about dynamic stretching and static stretching. This is actually joint mobility, but there's a small amount of dynamic stretching in this. So as you're reaching the end of the movement and then coming back, rather than that, which is a static stretch, when you're holding it. Good, back to the other leg, and now we're going to static stretch. So, but it's going to be an assisted stretch, so I'm pushing this myself and just relaxing the muscles into it. If you're not finding the stretch, you can just pull the other leg in a little bit more. You can also help if you need to, just by encouraging that other leg forwards. Good. Taking hold of the leg now and go back to the wiggling the hips side to side. Again, when you do this, you can take hold of the leg either under the thigh or under the shin. It's a bit more intense under the shin, so sometimes going under the thigh can help because you want your spine to be flat on the floor. Good, and now little circles. Tiny, 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 tiny. And the other way. And now just settle. With just really, I'm not pulling it in, I'm just letting my elbows become heavy and letting them drop towards the floor, and that's just getting a bit of a stretch through. And now I'm going to breathe into the area that's stretching, particularly over the flexors as well, and the sides of the glutes, and just really release into that. Good, let's just stay on that leg, pull the knee into the chest. And let's do a nerve stretch since we're here. Pull the toes back, extend the heel towards the ceiling. Keep pulling the toes back, keep stretching the heel up. Now point the toe, and wherever you find comfy, just take hold of it and let the elbows be heavy, and then breathe in. So I'm not really yanking the leg forwards, I'm just giving it an opportunity to release into its range. And then with that same leg, take the knee across the center and take hold of the foot and just encourage it forwards just to get a slightly different stretch along the glutes. And changing legs over. So just start by taking hold and wiggling. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Very nice. Now teeny tiny circles. Teeny tiny. And change direction. And then again, just relaxing through the elbows, letting them become heavy so that you can just let gravity and the breath open up through that leg. Small of the back, still sinking deep into the ground. Good, take that leg down, pull it into the chest. And pulling the toes back, stretch the heel towards the ceiling, nerve stretch along the back of the leg. And point the toes. And just let the weight of the arms encourage the leg forwards. Relaxing the other muscles around. Even for example, through this leg here. And then bringing the knee across the body, pulling up. Good. Knees back to center. And just arms up the side. Deep breath in, breathe out, let them pop over to one side. Look down the other arm. Deep breath in. Breathing out, change it over. And now in your own time, just take it through with and breathing in, breathing out and changing over. Always match the breath with the movement. Good, make this the last one. And back to center. Now take yourself over to the left-hand side of your mat. Pop your left leg over the top and let your legs fall over to the right-hand side. Keep both shoulders on the ground. Look down the left arm if you want to increase the stretch. Let those shoulders sink deep into the mat. And now just really relax all the engagement over the legs. Breathe deep into the open ribs. Good, breathing in, straighten the right leg and breathe out, uncurl. Take yourself over to the right hand side of your mat. Put the right leg over the top and falling down to the side, looking down the right arm. Shoulders heavy in the mat. Good, deep breath in, and straighten the left leg, breathe out, uncurl yourself, and to finish off, we're just going to bring the knees back into the chest, circle around again, and just checking where you're feeling compared to where you were at the start. And circle the other way. And now just flatten the sacrum on the floor and just give your legs a hug again, let the elbows become heavy. And breathe into that. Great. Just gently curl yourself onto your side and then onto all fours. Good. Feet through one arm all the way through. And if you want to, then you can pop the arm on the floor and just use that to stretch down the side of the arm and the lat muscles, the shoulder. Good, breathing in, breathe out, come up, and changing around. Oh yeah. Good, come back up to sitting, and popping forwards. Just pop your leg in here, lifting up and just bringing the chest upwards and forwards down, and just take the leg through pointing, and you might see that, might be out of frame. Just take the leg through pointing and flexing. And then keep it pointed, and again, chest upwards and forwards. Don't aim for the foot. It's almost like you're trying to get, I can get that wall. Totes can get it. And then come up. If you feel like you can, take that leg out the other way now on a right angle and go down again. If you can't do this, if it's not feeling comfortable for you, then just keep the leg folded in like it was before. And now flex it and leaning forwards. And from here, just take yourself and gently use your hands just to walk yourself around to different angles. You might find it's quite nice to start to come in, almost like you want to get to the other knee. And just let the natural movement, you probably find, hopefully, that as you go, you just want to go a little bit further each time. But don't force it. If you don't feel like going further, do it. Good, and then we'll just stretch down as far as feels comfortable for you. If you want to grab the toe and pull it up, do that. Good, use the hands to come up as you're breathing out. And change the other leg, so we start with it in. And leaning forwards, chest upwards and forwards, and we're just going to flex and extend that foot. And then point the toe, just start to encourage yourself forward a bit. And then if you feel like you can change the leg, do. Point the toe again, going forwards. And then just start to take yourself for a little bit of an exploration around. Again, just let the natural motion, hopefully a little bit, you should just naturally feel like you want to go a little further each time. If you want to keep the toe pointed, I just always get a cramp in this position, which is why I always wiggle this foot. Good, and flex the foot and stretching down. If you want to grab onto the foot, do. Yeah, coming up. Now we're going to stretch on the inguinal area and the hips, but we're going to go into our knees first. If the knees are sore for you, go into this one. But everyone can start here if you like anyway. So just little butterfly flutters. Sitting up tall through the spine, and then to get the stretch through this, belly button upwards and forwards. What we're going to do if your knees aren't too bad on the floor, we've done this one before, pop the knees out wide. Make sure that the shins are in parallel. You don't have to really bash this stretch out. This is a good one to do to increase flexibility if you want to sit there for a while, but we just want to loosen things up. So elbows down on the floor, and just gently, don't go to extreme of movement. We're just going to rock forwards and back through that. So I'm definitely not going near my extreme of movement at the moment. I'm just easing in and out of the stretch. And same as before with the moving side to side, you hopefully should find that naturally each time you start to go a little further. And now just start to take yourself back into a static stretch. Again, go above your limit and just let the relaxation through the muscles gradually take you down a little further. If anything starts to feel like it wants to ping, of course, come back. Good. Walk yourself forwards and put your belly on the floor before you bring the legs back in. Just take a rest for a sec and then bring the legs back in. Good. And since you're on the floor, change if you need to. Change position. Just going to pop our hands in. Let's go into a cobra actually. So just start here and just pulling the fingertips towards the elbows, face going forwards. And then, oh, I think my playlist has ended. God, that was my last song. Good, almost done there. Just a couple more. Hands underneath your shoulders. If you feel like you can do an upward dog, pop into that just to stretch out the back and the flexors. Moving around through the neck if you want to. Don't have to go all the way up. And back down again, butt in the air, scoot yourself through to a child's pose. Again, one of the best stretches in the entire world. Creep the fingertips out, pull back or relax back against them. Let the shoulder blades expand outwards towards the ground. Chin nice and relaxed. Chin, yeah, fine. Chin relaxed and also your neck. Good, now just creep your fingers over to the left hand side and keep stretching. And then back across the other side. Good, back to center. And push yourself forwards into, or backwards, sorry, into a bit of a crouch, just hang over here. I'm just staying on the balls of my feet for the moment because I'm just enjoying it. Stretch down the back of the calves. And then butt in the air, gradually rolling up through the spine, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. Good. And just to finish off, we're just going to go back to doing some rotations through the spine. I'm moving from my hips at the moment, but I'm letting the shoulders go around a little bit further. And then I'm just going to let the arms go over the top. Beautiful. That's it. That's it. Calm, cool, collected. Done. Feel free to keep on stretching because, as I said before, once or twice, half an hour goes past very quickly. It's highly unusual. So tomorrow, last day of the week already. Oh my goodness, core day. My favorite day. I think you all know that. So I'll see you tomorrow or the next time you join me. In the meantime, hope you are keeping well and getting a chance to hopefully see a few more family and friends now. In the meantime, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Lots of love. Bye.